breakdowns exclusives are finally here. There is no formal episode this week, as you guys know, but a lot of exciting stuff on the horizon. And two of those exciting bits and nuggets are two exclusive interviews that I had with Bryan Battle and Gable Steveson, two, who passed winners from DBX. It was very, very exciting to talk to both of them. Gable Steveson, as we all know, is a rising heavyweight prospect who trains with John Jones. Well, Bryan Battle is trying to get used to life post UFC and is looking ahead to his future endeavors with the PFL in 2026. In just a second, you will hear back to back interviews with both of them. So, thank you so much for adhering to this change, at least for this week, and hopefully a newer series going forward. Again, my name is Zain Bando, and this is Bando's Breakdowns exclusive presented by Playback. Welcome back to Bando's Breakdowns. I'm happy to be joined by Gable Steveson. Gable, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. It's really, really nice to meet you. Thank you so much for taking a
I
few
appreciate
minutes
you
of your
too.
time.
Yes, thank you.
Of course. So, um, without further ado, for those that may not know you, can you kind of give a little bit of an introduction to yourself before we get into questions?
Yes, well, my name is Gable Steveson. I'm a Olympic champion in 2021 for freestyle wrestling at heavyweight. Two-time national champion, four-time Big Ten champion, two-time Dan Hodge Trophy winner. It's the Heisman Trophy for wrestling. I'm the only heavyweight to ever in history to have it twice. Played in the NFL, WWE, and now I'm fighting.
Yeah, and it's definitely been a very interesting career for you so far. So I guess to start off the top, you just made your MMA debut not too long ago, and has competed at DBX this past week. And you just kind of talk about your transition over to DBX and why if it's sense for you to make a swift transition from MMA over to a completely different sport.
I think the MMA debut was great. I went out there and had a huge takedown with huge ground and pound, shut off elbows and a big ground and pound and got the TKO finish. But I think the main question was can Gable stand on his feet with someone and kind of go out there and feel that pressure of not having to shoot a takedown and have his best skill set. So we had the idea of why not do dirty boxing? It's the best way that you can go out there and perform, and I feel like that was a great thing.
Yeah, and is something that you hope to pursue in the future, just kind of it as you get your feet or so into the combat sports scene. Would you like to go between MMA and DBX if you had it the way you wanted it?
Oh, I thought it was a great idea to go between both. It was in my eyes a fantastic business idea and a fantastic marketing idea to go out there and say, "Hey, this guy can wrestle, but also can he answer the question of can he throw a punch? Can he get hit? Can he block a punch?" And I feel like I did a lot of those things this past weekend, but I would like to move forward with a lot of things. I'd like to get to a bigger stage and bigger arena, and hopefully those things are coming.
Yes. But speaking of bigger stages and bigger arenas, Mick Maynard was in attendance at your fight. Did you have a chance to meet him? And do you think that eventually, within however many fights, you see yourself that the UFC is possibly in the cards in the future?
Yeah, I think meeting Mick was a great thing. He came to watch. I think he's from Houston. He came all the way from Houston on a Thursday to watch me fight. So I mean, that says a lot about the talent that he may be seeing and the work ethic that I have. So I met Mick a few times before this. A great dude. He comes to watch the best, and hopefully he came to watch me.
Yeah, for sure. And just given all the hype that's been around you, just within the combat sports community, can you just kind of speak on and what all this positive recognition means for you, like how you're handling all of your newfound support and maybe people that hadn't been as interested in you or as invested in you? Like, what do you think of all that overall?
I think it's cool. What comes with his fans, and it comes with a lot of doubters too. So I think it's cool to have a new fan base go out there and support me. It's a nice thing. Who would have ever thought that you can have fans and have people talk about you on all different social media platforms? So it's a crazy thing, but I stay 10 toes to the ground, having new fans and meeting famous people and seeing your idols in person is a great thing. But also you gotta remember that you gotta stay grounded and that the world only gets bigger as long as you keep winning.
Yeah, and I would say, what is the one thing or the few things that you do to just kind of stay grounded to block out maybe any sort of the negative attention or the naysayers or anything like that?
The naysayers is a part of it. The negative attention is always going to come with it. There's always going to be someone that's wishing on the downfall. And as long as I stay in true graces to myself and I can keep moving forward and have great people around me, I'm not worried about what everyone else has to say. And I'm worried about what the people close to me have to say. And I'm going to keep moving forward and keep going to the places that I've always dreamed to be. And I will reach those accomplishments myself.
For sure, and someone who's made it to the top of the sport and someone that you know very, very well has been a huge mentor for you, John Jones.
Mhm.
Can you talk about just what it's been like to train with him, just kind of individual amount of support that you've gotten from him, and just kind of some of the mentorship that he's been able to give you?
Yeah, it's a fantastic thing. You know, John's been to so many places. He's been in the best of the best fights. He's seen so many people. He's been that young prodigy that he's kind of looking at me as. And so to go out there and just have like a guy that's already had those steps and taken that direction, it kind of brings you to reality that hey, you know, this guy's putting a lot of time into you. Maybe you can be that person too. And I wholeheartedly believe that I can be and I will be.
For sure, and it's kind of thinking ahead more to your short term goals and whatnot. With how active you've been over the last several weeks, if you had it your way, what would your ideal 2026 calendar look like? Just in terms of activity, either between both sports or just other things that you may have coming up that you'd like to pursue.
Oh man, I would like to be a part of so many things. You know, I have a big goal to be a part of, man, just marketing and every place that you can see Gable Steveson and see who he is as a person. But also in 2026 as an athlete, you know, I want to be a star. I want to go out there and be the person that says the average viewer can go and say, hey, I want to watch Gable Steveson fight, and he's going to go out there and put on a great show for me. I see myself being very high up in 2026. I see myself going out there and trying to be as dominant as possible. And I know this with my work ethic, this path, and the people around me, I know I can be that.
For sure, and just kind of piggybacking off of that a little bit, just in regards to your activity, if you had it your way, like it's from like a timeline standpoint, like often would you want to see yourself either competing or in the spotlight? Would it be very frequent? Would you want to like do some stuff for a few months and take a few months off? Like how do you see how do you see that potentially playing out?
I would love to stay as active as possible. I'd love to keep the momentum going, and we have great momentum right now. So I would love to get back into the ring as quick as I can and go out there and keep performing and keep getting used to being in that cage and keep having people trying to go out there and see what they're made of. So, man, I would love to have that activity. And I didn't really take breaks when I was wrestling, so I don't really know the word break, but I know
Okay.
you gotta recover somehow, and you got to take care of your body in the best way possible, especially in this game. You got to last and take care of yourself. So as frequent as possible, I would like to. If there's times where it's maybe a couple months to re-prepare, sure. But I would always be like to stay active and be most prepared as possible.
For sure, and just the last one for me to get you out of here on this
Yes.
is there anything you'd like to plug, either just social media? Is there anything that you would have coming up that maybe you haven't spoken about publicly, or just anything you'd like to share? I'll give you the floor for the final question. And thanks again for your time.
No, I appreciate it. Nothing to really plug in. I mean, my social media handle, I have Instagram. It's at Gable Gable. If you would like to get at me there, but also, I mean, nothing else. I mean, I'm happy to be where I am in this life. You know, I've been on a lot of roller coasters, and I feel like this one's going to be a craziest one. But I know, deep down in my heart that I can be champion, and I will be. And the time will tell.
Well, for sure, man, it was super nice to meet you. Best of luck with your immediate future, and so far it's off to a great start. So keep plugging away, and I
Yes,
can't wait to see you at the top one. Hey, that's for sure, man. So good luck. Good
I
luck with
appreciate it.
everything.
Well, thank you. Thanks for the time.
Showtime, boys. This is the fight we all came here to see tonight. Here we go. Ooh. Oh,
Welcome back to Bandu's Breakdowns. I'm happy to be joined today by Bryan Battle. Brian, how are you today?
I'm sensational, brother. How about yourself?
I'm good. No complaints. You've been a little bit busy lately, so I don't want to take up too much of your time. So thanks again for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Bro, it's an honor. Honor and a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, just to kind of get off right off the top. So after your UFC stint ended about 2 months ago or so, you decided to pursue DBX, the PFL. Can you just kind of talk about how the opportunity came about to try out in whose sport, just given that you had pursued the UFC for a long time with the Ultimate Fighter and everything? So why was this the right move for you as you move to the next chapter of your career?
Well, off the rip, I had a lot to prove, and DBX gave me an avenue to, really prove myself and gave me a platform to, go out and, show that I'm still here. You know what I'm saying? I'm still ready to compete. So, um, if anything, I'm really thankful to DBX. And r- PFL is right there too. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to doing some MMA again. You know, but really, I'm a fighter, brother. You know what I'm saying? If I get opportunity to fight, I'm fighting.
Absolutely. Just kind of talking about your DBX experience. It obviously went really well. Like, it's what it stands out just from a promotional standpoint. Like, did you feel really comfortable in there? Like, do you see yourself potentially having a long term future there? Can you kind of expand a little bit more?
DBX for a promotion that is so new, you can tell that the people that have been there have been involved in other high level organizations because the way they run their organization, the way they treat their talent, the way they conduct themselves feels very high level. Um, and you know, yeah, I love DBX. Right now, there's just like so much. Like you said, like a couple months ago, I was like in the UFC, locked into like a really like long contract. So,
Okay.
um, I still would love to keep on competing at DBX. I would love to fight for a DBX title. I think that'd be fire. I know Mike Perry. He's even though that's my dog. I know he's
Oh yeah.
interested. He wants Mike wants to punch me in the face. So that'd be a lot of fun. Um, with all that being said, I definitely have some contractual obligations with PFL. So, we'll see. I'll talk to my agent, see what's on the horizon, and I'm just gonna keep on training, keep on getting better, and keep on whooping ass, brother.
For sure, and that kind of ties into my next question as well. I assume if you had it the way that you really wanted to do it, it's from kind of just from kind of how this is leading that you would like to potentially compete in both concurrently. Is that something you potentially like to pursue?
But yeah, man. I want to compete in all the MMA organizations concurrently. I'm a greedy person. Like, I want to. Let's go to Japan too, bro.
Okay,
let's
okay.
go. Let's go overseas. I want to do. You know, especially because it's like the blessing and the curse of as much of a privilege as it is to be a UFC fighter, UFC an organization widely regarded as the top combat sports organization in the world for good reason. Um, I know that there's a lot of high level fighters all over the place. You know what I'm saying? People
Right.
that we've heard of, people that we haven't heard of. And you know, right now I just feel like I'm on the road, brother. You know what I'm saying? I can kind of just, I'm free. You know what I mean? So yeah, no, I'll do. I'm not actually that free, but I feel free. So like whatever I can do, whatever I can dibble dabble in, as long as I got gloves on my hand, I'm ready to give it a spin.
For sure. So it's kind of piggy. I go off that, like giving it a spin and everything. Or if you were to pick a few dream matchups that you would really like, you obviously mentioned Mike Perry earlier on in this interview, but if you had it your way, or any dream matchups that you'd like to check off the unofficial Bryan Battle dream bucket list, where you're like, I want to fight this guy, and at the end of my career, when I look back, 5 to 10 to 15 years from now, I'll feel like I've accomplished everything have wanted to in terms of just names that you would have fought?
Oh man, I'm really, because there is like a couple people at the top of the list. I'm really drawing a blank. But basically, essentially, you just list the top 10 guys in my division. That's who I want to fight. Like literally, whoever the world, the fans, the community, like, because perception's reality. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's probably some dude in some tiny country in another part of the world that's like top 10 caliber, but we'll never know who he is. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So,
exactly.
whoever is perceived to be a challenge, that's what I want to do, brother. So,
Okay,
right now, yeah, in DBX, I mean, like Mike Perry would be like the number one person. I know maybe someone like, I know Night Train Lane, another former UFC guy. He
mm-hmm.
was interested in fighting me in DBX. PFL just has a wealth of talent at middleweight and, even potentially welterweight one day, you know what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
um bro, I'm just excited, I'm motivated. You know, there's a lot of work left to do. So, I gotta stay grinding, stay focused on the goal and the mission.
For sure. And then speaking of your PFO ventures in 2026, just kind of what are you most looking forward to? Of that is competing in a different promotion with quite a different format as opposed to the UFC. How excited are you just overall just about the grind that you're more than likely going to have to go through if you end up going through the tournament format?
Just the activity of it, brother. You know what I mean? Like, I fought twice in the past, what, 3 months roughly.
Yeah,
Twice in the past,
twice in like 4.5 or so.
yeah. And like right before I got cut, like right before I was supposed to fight Nursultan, I was on an 8 month layoff. You know what I'm saying?
That's
And
right. Yeah,
things like that. For someone like me, that's tough. You know what I'm saying? That's tough to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is, and maybe that's like a personal problem, and I need to look on how to, like, you know figure out how to deal with that better. But it's like being able to stay active. I don't got, fighters got limited shelf time. You know what I'm
for
saying?
sure.
And I want to make the most of the time I got. So um, do as much as I possibly can in the little bit of time I got. So 2026, the biggest thing I'm looking forward to, yeah, like tournament format, fire. Let's get it. We get like 3 fights. That's fire. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Maybe hopefully get some fights outside of that. Like, if I could fight 6 times next year, that'd be amazing. You know what I'm saying? I would do that in a heartbeat. So that's just really the biggest thing I'm looking forward to, is the activity of it all.
For sure, and you kind of alluded to the fact that fighters have a short shelf life. If it was up to you, how much longer, or you're just sort of taking it 1 year at a time. But if it were up to you, how much longer would you like to compete in combat sports, whether it's MMA, dirty boxing, or simply another type of combat sports medium, if you will?
Well, yeah, no, man. I mean, my kids are getting older.
Okay,
I'm starting to develop a family. One of the things I'd say is, I know once you hit 35, they add to your medicals. You know what I'm saying? I already hate doing medicals as is, but once you're 35, you
okay,
got to start doing like brain scans and heart scans and stuff like that. I think maybe I'm misquoting that, but I think 35 is when you have to start doing all that stuff. And so, you know, real hard push these next 4 years. And, if by the time I get to 35, I'm still like the best, then, I'll keep on going until I'm not the best. But um, kind of 35 is kind of what I got circled in my head.
for sure. And it's kind of more of a short term question to get you out of here on this. But are or any exciting announcements, either just social media wise, promotional wise, personally, that you'd like to plug? I'll let you have the final the floor for the final question, rather.
Um, nothing yet. There's a lot of potential opportunities on the rise. A lot of things I've thought about, but nothing set in stone at the moment. If anything, I'd like to just thank my family who held me down during all these hard times. I couldn't have done last week was only possible because of my family, literally. And so um I would like to thank my mom, my sisters, Christina, Lindsay, Leah, Grace. Shout out to Tiffany. I gotta thank my boo Willow. She's been a major help in all of this. And my kids have been my rock throughout all of this. You know what I mean? I don't even know where I'd be if I didn't have my two beautiful kids. So I just want to just shout out my family, brother. Plug my family. Thank you to them for making all of this, helping me be the person I need to be, and making all this possible.
Well, great stuff, man. That's a great note to end. And congratulations on a good performance. And I look forward to following your career as it continues, man. Best of luck. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me, brother.
Have a good one.
Gets these guys set, and round one is underway.
Here go. Oh, Nick is coming straight up. Nick is coming up.
Kill shot coming out on the horizon. And he's caught Bryan Battle. When he turns it around, these guys are throwing monster shots.
Oh, Nick is coming straight up.
Kill shot keeping that pressure on Battle, who tries to follow up with an elbow.
Well, let's see if he's going to get tired. Let's see if he has the time.
Big shots from Kohring on Battle, who's trying to roll with that defense up top.
Everything is from
That was it, the Butcher with a highlight finish. He drops kill shot and then has a follow-up shot.
Thank you so much for taking a peek at both of those interviews with Bryan Battle and Gable Steveson. I really, really appreciated their time. Just a few quick takeaways from both interviews. Gable Steveson wants to stay as active as possible. He knows that the sky's the limit. He knows he's really young in his combat sports journey. It seems like he was really, really interested in what DBX had to offer. He'd like to stay active on the MMA front as well. And then in regards to Bryan Battle, he's just excited for a new journey. It's clear that PFL is his next opportunity. He wants to maximize as much time as he has left in his MMA career. And he knows that fighters, as he likes to put it, have a short shelf life. And he wants to maximize those opportunities, whether it's a fight against Mike Perry in the future or against somebody else. He wants to be fighting the biggest names possible to be the most relevant and in the greatest spotlight that he possibly can. So again, this has been a new edition of Bando's Breakdowns exclusive and by playback. We hope to do more of these in the future. But speaking of what we're currently doing and where we're currently headed, my new episode of Bando's Breakdowns, that'll be episode 67. New episodes will be returning Friday, November 14th again, and same time, same place, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. Going to be talking about everything in the world of sports, including UFC 322 and Illinois, Maryland preview, a Bears preview, and so much more. So you won't want to miss that again. That'll be Bando's Breakdowns, episode 67, wherever you get your podcast. Thanks again for tuning into this exclusive. I really, really appreciate it. My name is Zain Bando. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week and weekend as well, and I will see you guys soon. Have a good one.